Hi, my name is Roland from PMI JCM Realty Group, where we manage properties from an asset management perspective. I'm the rental property investment Zen master. And today, what I want to talk to you about how to handle evictions the right way without hassles. Now, my whole goal in life when I'm managing property is to do it in a way that's Zen, meaning I like to be at peace. I like to make sure that we are turning a profit, getting a return on our investment without losing all our hair and having a lot of drama and issues that come along with being a property manager sometimes. Now, before I go on, let me go ahead and share my screen because I think I'm missing that. So let me go ahead and do that really quickly. There we go. Now my screen is being shared. And so today what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you about the three or four tips that I have into how to handle those evictions in a way that is that's better for you as a investor or rental property owner and reduces the stress on you as much as possible. And so the first thing that you want to do is we want to make sure that when the tenant signs the lease or before the tenant signs the lease, that you go through the process of reviewing the lease agreement with them. That doesn't have to be in person. Most time these days, leases are signed through electronic signing software. But at some point, you need to have a conversation with the prospects and let them know that your bottom line issues that's going to cause you to file an eviction on them, right? So make sure they know that non-payment of rent or repeated late payment would be a cause for an eviction. Unauthorized pets, for example, can be another cause of an eviction. Unauthorized subletting may be another cause. Unauthorized occupancy of a non-listed resident would be another cause. Illegal use of the premises would be a cause. That could be selling drugs in the property or anything of that nature. Intentional damage to the rental property could be a cause. And disrupting or threat to safety. If you threaten me or threaten anyone around in the area, that may be a cause for us to terminate your residency at a property. So those types of things need to be discussed. And a lot of these things that we went over seems like they're common knowledge, and most people may feel insulted if you have that conversation with them. But if you're serious about your business, don't hesitate to have that conversation. And the reality is, if they get insulted and they want to have an issue with you telling them what your rules and regulations are, then they're probably not the right prospect or tenant for you anyway. Next, you want to make sure that you communicate early and often. One of the things that you want to make sure that you do is when the tenants don't pay their rent, you need to let them know the types of letters or notices that they may get, right? It's the first step in going through the eviction process. So you want to make sure that you provide them the pay rent or quit notice, which is the first notice. That's really one of the key notices that I send out quite a bit. The cure or quit notice. That's if they have, caused damage or they have the place in a mess or in shambles. They don't put it in the right condition. You can evict them because of that. And unconditional notice. You can use that to evict the tenants as well. The third tip is know and keep your timelines. Sometimes a lot of rental property owners, they typically extend timelines for tenants. Oh, I pay in a week. Oh, I pay it. Like for me, I do not play when it comes to that. If the tenants do not pay their rent when they're supposed to, I send them a 3-day notice to pay or quit. Once that 3-day notice to pay or quit is up, it's a race between them and the attorney for them to either pay the rent or the attorney to file the eviction and get them out of the house. If they make their payment and we accept that payment, it resets the clock. However, if we don't accept the payment after the attorney filed the eviction, then they're just stuck and they have to go through the court process and let the judge make the decision, right? And so I don't try to have that back and forth argument with the tenants. You either pay your rent or you don't, and if you don't, then it's a race between you and the attorney. And 9 times out of 10, the attorney is going to win unless you pay your rent. And so, at the end of the day, what it comes down to is this: property management services or property management as a whole is not hard. You have to take consideration, though, of how long it will take you to perform this and other actions and activities. And I know a lot of owners, they feel like they can do it themselves, and you absolutely can because, like I said, it's not hard. But when you do it yourself, it does take your time and your energy, which is why I leverage all the resources I can to reduce the amount of time it takes me to do things. Now, you can have things fast, you can have things cheap, or you can have things good. I'd rather it be good and not cheap, because I needed to happen fast because you can't have all three. You can't have cheap, fast, and good, right? And if I had to choose two, I needed to be good and I need to be fast. So it's going to be a little more. It's going to be a little more pricey because of it. So before issuing your first notice, you have your own timeline. Make sure that you're keeping up with that. And at the end of the day, let a property manager, whether it's PMI, JCM Realty Group, or another property management company, help with this process. At the end of the day, property management services or paying a property manager is tax deductible. And if the government is going to give you money back or deduct it from your overall income for you to hire someone to do work, why not leverage that? Doing it yourself, yeah, you save a couple of dollars in the long run, but it eats up your time and you don't get the benefit of having somebody else do it on your behalf. So the best way to ensure that your evictions are seamlessly executed is to have help from a professional. We can take the reins and we can do the rent collections, the communication, the marketing, investment improvements, and even the evictions. Delegate all those complex scenarios to a pro and be confident you're avoiding all of the mistakes and leveraging the right tools for properly executing and following through with an eviction. I had this one owner that I was working with. He went and he filed an eviction himself. Now, he filed an eviction for non-payment of rent. Okay, he goes through the process. Now, he was dealing with some savvy renters. These savvy renters went to what they call around here in Tampa is the Bay Area Association, legal association, Bay Area Legal Association. They provide legal services to a certain point for free to people who can't afford it. And they poke so many holes um, in this owner's request or filing that they filed in court that the owner couldn't take the eviction any further. I got the eviction. The first thing I did, I sent it to the attorney. The first thing the attorney said was, this was never going to fly in court because he took the wrong path. Now, since I've taken it over, we've gone down the right path, and we're going to get these tenants out. Even if they take it to the Bay Area Legal Service, they're not going to be able to get out of the eviction, and the eviction is going to actually go through. So contact that team today with the eviction questions. We're more than happy to help and take the hassle out of going through these processes. At PMI JCM Realty Group, we are focused on in providing you feedback and ways to manage your properties from an asset management perspective. We are having a free webinar that's going to talk about how to streamline your rental property portfolio for maximum growth. It's a topic that you don't want to miss. So please, please, please use the link in this article to access that webinar. Also, don't forget to connect with us on social media. We have a Facebook group that has a ton of investors who are more than happy to help you with your questions that you may have about property management and other services that you may need if you're doing it yourself or if you want to hire someone. And always, as always, if you have any questions, contact me directly with the link to put a meeting on my calendar. You can reach me at 813-333-9617. You can also call me. That's my number. You can call me at 813-333-9617. You can also reach me through email at rcharles@pmijcmrealty.com. And as always, you can go to my website at pmijcmrealty.com. I also have another website for my book called Real Estate Investment Zen Master, and that's realestateinvestmentzenmaster.com. Thank you. Have a great day.